Alright, this is everything to know from the recent Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct, so let's not waste any time and jump right into this. So pretty much the Direct presentation began by giving fans a glimpse into the story of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which seems to focus on a central theme of life. Now we get a hint of that life is depicted by terms, and by your 10th term it seems that life pretty much finishes, with an emphasis that throughout those years leading up into your 10th term, there's lots of fighting, constant warring. Now, some of the main protagonists, they kind of focus this with one of the characters named Mio, who seems to be closing in on the end of their lifespan, but they want to change their fate. And again, that seems to be the main focus of the story in this game. Now, we also get a hint that there's going to be a war between two big nations called, I believe it's the Kivis or the Kevis, and then there's one that is called Agnes. And again, these are conflicting nations that seem to probably just have different ideologies on life, which kind of makes sense. Now, when it comes down to the main characters here, you're having 6 total, but it seems that 3 were from the opposing nations, 3 from one and 3 from the other, right? So 3 from the Kivis or the Kevis, and then the other 3 from the Agnes. Pretty much, it seems the way the story works is they somehow come meet each other when I think they were assigned a mission, and what happens is they seem to, all of them, meet a certain character that kind of makes them stop fighting each other and instead join each other to defeat the bigger enemy and see the bigger picture. And pretty much, again, the journey is to find the truth of the world and again just figure out how to change life, which is again seems to be the main central point of the game. Now, the characters that are introduced are Noah and Mio, who I kind of feel like are the main protagonists, it feels like. And then you have Iuni, Lance, Tyon, and Senna, which seem to be more of like the side characters. So 6 total for your main characters. Moving forward here, we get to go and see more about the actual world. Now, if I might mispronounce this, but I think it's Ionis, or Ionis, something like that, is the main world setting for the game. I always mispronounce it. It's going to have a diverse geography, different wildlife they mentioned. You're going to see tons of different landscapes, creatures ranging from docile to dangerous, from small to huge. I mean, if you've played the past Xenoblade games, that's nothing new, really. There's going to be something called colonies, which serve as base camps for the game. Colonies are going to have shops, dining areas, NPCs to interact with, rest spots to interact with for your characters together, crafting, implementation, cooking as well, a bunch of side quests you can also take there as well. Now again, the world seems to be a really big focus in this game. They want you to explore, and by exploring, you're going to be able to find some rare stuff out in the open world, and you're also going to be able to discover landmarks, and landmarks are super important because that is what's going to allow you to fast travel, and they seem to put a big emphasis on that. So I'm not sure if the game is going to be open world or probably maybe more open zone, so expect in between there pretty much, but landmarks seem to be pretty important because if you want to fast travel to get around, you want to find these landmarks, so keep that in mind as you're traveling the world. Also, something that's really cool that they implemented is a navigation system that seems to kind of just give you a visual guide on where you need to go for your next quest. So that's, of course, a welcome, needed accessory when you're playing these games. Now, jumping into battling, some of the battling system is pretty reminiscent and similar to past Xenoblade games. So, of course, the art moves are returning. Again, some will do different damages, some will do different types of styles of moves. You're going to see certain stuff like break, topple, right? Again, previously moves that you've kind of known before, adding aggro or even healing. You're going to be able to swap between the different party members and do chain attacks. And in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, they seem to be adding something that I believe is new. I can't remember if it's from the past games. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but they're adding a class system, which is pretty cool. Of course, each class has its own attributes, right? They're going to be different from each other. Some of the classes that they kind of introduced were Sword Fighter, Zephyr, Medic Gunner, and Tactician. Again, right, each having their own style, whether it's dealing some super damage or maybe just providing more in that party support. Now, any character you control can change its class. So out of those 6, they can all change their classes. And of course, by leveling up a class to a certain point, you'll learn different types of arts, but there's one specific that they mentioned called the Master Arts. Now, these are important because these are, of course, specific to that class that you pretty much just built up, but those Master Arts can be taken over to any other class that you pretty much switch to. So if there was a really cool healing arts that you liked and you unlocked it through whatever it is to get the Master Arts, you can take that one specifically and move it over to your Sword Fighter class. That way it's not just stuck again to that class, and you're able to kind of learn these Master Arts to kind of like, mix and match from the different classes, which seems to be a really cool thing that they're doing for this game. And of course, right, it adds to your strategy and to your team building. Another cool thing they're doing is fusion arts, which is simply being implemented into the game, and it's pretty much just combining two different arts together. Maybe a move that does healing benefits with a move that's more for attacking, and it's a cool combination of the two, which is again just something that I think has been seen in the other game, maybe specifically Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but they're kind of bringing that stuff back. So some new stuff, which is pretty cool, and some old stuff that is returning. Now, other characters known as heroes will join you in your game, and they will be your 7th party member with their own specific classes. Now, some of these characters introduced were Fray, Valdi, Fiona, Gray, and again, there's many more. Now, when you recruit heroes to your team, you will also be able to obtain their specific class for your main characters, which is a pretty cool thing. And also, you can customize your appearance from the different classes to choose whatever outfit you want, no matter what the class is equipped. So if you like maybe the outfit from the healer class, you can pretty much still take that outfit and bring it over with you to your sword fighter class. They're doing lots of customizations and very just in-depth just systems that they're kind of doing here, which is really cool to see. Now, I think this one might be the big one, as this is the one where a lot of people are talking about, eating myself. This is called the Ouroboros. So Ouroboros is basically two characters from your party fusing together via a system called interlinking. Now, basically, it's going to be only set characters that can link with each other. For example, like Noah and Mio. They can only link together or do interlinking to go into an Ouroboros form. Now, the Ouroboros form is time limited, but of course, it's going to deal devastating damage to enemies with its own unique arts that apparently can change based on who leads the transformation. So even though you're fusing together, only one of the two of the pairs can kind of lead it. So you can fuse together and have Noah lead, or have, for example, Mio lead. Now, between the two, the unique arts for that Ouroboros form will cater to whatever character you have, which is a pretty cool thing. Again, it's super like dynamic and very little, I don't want to say complex, but it's just really cool to see how much like detail and how crazy customization can kind of go in just to how you want to put your strategy together. So it's really cool to see something like that be added in. So just keep that in mind. It's really cool for the Ouroboros form. And also the Ouroboros forms can be upgraded to learn new arts, and you can even do really cool chain attacks. Like the one they showed was you're in the Ouroboros form, you do a cool move, and then you pretty much like desync, and then you separately attack with your two characters like Noah and Mio, and then form back together to do like a final hit. It's really cool chain attack. So definitely look into that. It's again, the Ouroboros form is a really cool thing they're adding in, which I think a lot of people are excited for. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will have an expansion pass for $30 US currency that provides content all the way up until 2023, like new story, new heroes, quests, outfits, and honestly much more. There's also going to be amiibo support implemented, like Shulk's amiibo, for example, will give Noah the Monado for his sword fighter class. And that's pretty much it for the information from the recent Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct. Remember, the game releases on July 29th, so let us know down below in the comments if you plan on picking this game up. I'm Jared with 5-9 Direct, and I will see you guys in the next one.